What can the United States do about North Korea without damaging relations with China, particularly? Joining me now is a former foreign policy advisor to President George W. Bush, Paul Bonicelli. Good to see you, Paul.
Hi, Lauren.
Can the U.S. and South Korea find common ground with dealing with North Korea?
Absolutely. It sounded like it today, you know, for a president that his critics say that he doesn't know where he wants to go, doesn't know what he wants to do, and doesn't even get the strategy of diplomacy. I think he showed that every time a foreign leader comes. It was a love fest today. The South Korean president was not supposed to be someone he could be warm with, who was supposed to, because he's on the left in his country, that they would not really get along very well. I heard two equally determined presidents to do whatever it took to fix the North Korea problem. And I also saw President Trump speak very specifically about trade in a way that was quite blunt, but not rude. And the South Korean president didn't have any response to that was negative. And in his own quiet talks with our House of Representatives was just as tough as Donald Trump about what we have to do with North Korea. So I think they're off to a very good start. And if I were Chinese government, I would be worried that the alliances are coming together around President Trump. Right.
But President Trump played nice with the Chinese president when he came to visit him in Florida a couple of months ago. And Trump said, I want to use a carrot instead of a stick in dealing with China. Yet the administration, showing the patience is over, they blacklisted a Chinese bank for doing business with the North. Is that playing nice?
Absolutely. And it's I think the president gave the Chinese president an opportunity. The Chinese president didn't believe the United States was changing under President Trump. I think he gets that now. I don't think that President Trump will abandon all efforts to work with the Chinese. This is a negotiating tactic to bring people along, and sometimes you have to take 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. You keep on going until you bring them along. And I think it's important to know, for the South Korean president to be so strongly with President Trump, it makes the Chinese come along.
All right. I also want to talk to you about the trade deficit that the U.S. has with South Korea. The administration's goal is to put America first and not to abandon these trade deals.
Is that a question for me?
But the question is coming. But to abandon the trade deals that don't make sense for America, that don't put us first. How do you think they can fix the deal with South Korea that your boss at the time signed back, what was it, in 2007?
Lauren, I'm not hearing you.
I want to talk about trade relations. Can you hear me now? Trade relations with South Korea?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes.
How do we improve them?
I think we improve them by being honest and straightforward, and that's what the president does. If you notice the president's language when they were around the cabinet table, when he was in the press conference, when they were sitting in the Oval Office where the reporters were tearing up furniture because they were climbing all over one another, the president was blunt and transparent, not in a rude way, but just expressing American interest. I think that other foreign leaders appreciate that. They know what they're getting. They know that there's not going to be some last-minute appeal to international organizations or some consensus. The president knows his mind on this and is ready to make deals, including compromise. It's not going to be just our way or the highway, but he is going to be clear about it. And I think that's why the South Korean president responded the way he did. He appreciates it.
The art of the deal. Thank you, Paul. Have a good weekend.